day 5,865 of quarantine. Okay, not really, but kind of feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? You know, one phrase that I have heard to describe this time, I didn't come up with this, I got it from someone else, but a really appropriate phrase I heard recently to describe where we're living is the great pause. And I think that really seems to fit. It feels like everything is on pause right now. School is on pause, work is on pause, and church and sports and barbecues and movie theaters and seeing your friends, all of it is on pause. And if you're like lots of people, if you're like me, then along with this sort of collective trauma that we're all living right now in this weird COVID landscape, you're probably finding that a lot of other things are coming up to the surface as well. A lot of other problems and stresses that have been there all along. Maybe some sides to yourself that you're not so fond of. A lot of that is starting to come to the surface for a lot of us. And you know, as I reflect on this, it's reminding me a little bit of something that Henry Nouwen said once about solitude. Because that's kind of what we're living right now. We're all sort of living in this kind of enforced solitude space. And in reflecting on solitude, Nouwen says that solitude can be dreadful. He acknowledges that. But it can also, if we let it, become a place of transformation and a place of meeting with God. Listen to this quote by Henry Nouwen from his book, The Way of the Heart. Solitude is the furnace of transformation. Without solitude, we remain victims of our society and continue to be entangled in the illusions of the false self. Jesus himself entered into this furnace. There he was tempted with the three compulsions of the world: to be relevant, to be spectacular, and to be powerful. There he affirmed God as the only source of his identity. Solitude is the place of the great struggle and the great encounter. The struggle against the compulsions of the false self and the encounter with the loving God who offers himself as the substance of the new self. These times are hard, friends. Let's not pretend otherwise. But also, let's not miss the opportunities that God has waiting for each and every one of us as we engage him during the great pause, as we find out what it means for God and God only to become the real and only source of our identity. I miss you so much. I'm praying for you, and I know that many of you are praying for each other as well. Don't stop. These are hard days, but God's got this. See you soon.